Hi, my name is Robert Aldana, and I'm about to show you my preview or review of the Sony a33. Now, first, I want to start off by saying that you're probably going to find this one out from the beginning, but I'm definitely not a professional photographer. Although you see some of these pictures, some of the great pictures that I've been able to take were not really the result of my particular talent, but more, I think, the result of this fantastic camera that I have, the Sony a33. I bought this camera back in late 2010, and I haven't looked back ever since. I'm an amateur, if that, and I just really enjoy taking fantastic pictures. I really enjoy the scenery that I've been able to take with this camera. Having said that, I've been using the regular kit lens that come with the Sony a33, and a little bit we're going to see some video also, but first I want to focus on some of the pictures here. So when I've been taking pictures and so forth, I've been using the kit lens that comes in. I think it's like an 1855 is the kit lens, and then I also bought the SAL 75-300. They're about $250 more or less. I think you can sometimes get them for about $150 to $200 at a Sony store. But I'm just really amazed more than anything at some of the pictures that this camera has been able to take. It's just amazing, and I think probably my favorite topics are my kids. I mean, I love taking pictures of my kids, and I've been fortunate enough to live in an area where there's a lot of trees and wilderness and so forth, so I'm able to take a lot of outdoor pictures and so forth. But it's just been a lot of fun taking these pictures. As I said in the beginning, I'm definitely not a professional, so a lot of the settings to me are way more advanced than I could even begin to understand at this point. Having this camera has made me want to take a photography a little more seriously and possibly even take some classes and courses so I can figure out how to better use this camera and its features, like the ISOs and the white balance and all that stuff. I have absolutely no idea what that stuff means, but for the most part, the pictures that I take them over to Aperture 3, Apple Aperture 3, and do a little bit post-editing. So I do know that word, post-editing. I learned that in a magazine somewhere. But I'm able to bring a little bit of more color out once in a while. Every once in a while, I'll come across a picture that, for whatever reason, just didn't come out with the color that I wanted, or the saturation levels weren't as they should be. So on occasion, I'll mess around a little bit with the Aperture 3, and because I love that program. It's a great program. You're able to do skin smoothing and all that other good stuff. But this review is not about Aperture 3. That's probably some other time. But so here's some of the pictures that I've been able to take with the Sony a33. Most of the time I try not to use the lens. I try not to use the automatic flash. Got to use the lens. How the heck am I going to take a picture? I try not to use the flash as much as possible. I usually try to use natural light if I can. On very rare occasions, I would say probably 10% of the time that I take pictures has the flash involved in the pictures. But most of the stuff I've been able to take just through the natural light and the colors that these particular pictures bring out, and again with a little bit of Aperture 3 here and there thrown in. But some people look at these pictures and they'll say, wow, where did you learn how to take this photography? And I really didn't. And it's just, I think a little bit is you do have to have a little bit of an eye for it in terms of the photography and how to catch certain angles and so forth. But I think for the most part, you can actually get away with this camera by just pointing and shooting it and keeping it in the automatic settings instead of the manual settings. I keep it usually in the aperture settings because little by little I'm learning more and more. I love the macro shots that this camera is able to take. There were some a little bit earlier. There's an eagle coming up right now that I think is just amazing. I mean, it's awesome, the picture I was able to take there. And of course my kids and so forth. But so the pictures are absolutely A1, 14.2 megapixel, I believe, is the quality. So let's go into some video stuff that I've also been able to take with this particular camera, the Sony a33. Now, the videos, a lot of people are now turning to DSLRs to do films and to do commercials and to do short movies and so forth. I could see why. Look at the colors that this particular camera is able to bring out. And it's probably not just this camera, but look at the color these DSLRs are able to come out with. I will say this. I love this one. This is where my daughter couldn't find my toe and I had it in the sand there, but that was kind of a fun shot. I will say this. probably the worst thing about this camera is the mic that it has. The onboard mic, or the mic that's built in, it really sucks in my opinion. So not only that, but when you're shooting video and it's focusing, you can actually hear the motor up and down, or as it's working. So it's really interfering with your video. It's so annoying that I think if you really want to take some videos, you got to use an external microphone. But other than that, again, because I'm not a professional, I'm sure there's a lot of features that I still need to learn that'll make this camera even better than it actually is. But to me, it's been awesome. It's been a lot of fun. I've been involved in television for about 15 years, so I've been around a lot of cameras and so forth. So I've got to see some really nice equipment, and this particular camera rivals some of that other stuff. In fact, I have a Canon XH-A1 that's an excellent video camera. The video quality of this camera is very comparable, maybe not quite, but pretty much there. The only difference is the sound, I think, more than anything. But
she doesn't like walking on her knees. Look at her. She tries to avoid her knees. That's why you put the knee pads on her. Look at her.
So as you can see, I love taking pictures of my kids and videos and so forth. So I think the Sony a33 is a great camera. I think if you're looking for something, it's a great starter camera. It's a great camera that's going to get great quality pictures and also quality video. And don't forget the external mic. But that's my review of the Sony a33.